Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to practically demonstrate how to handle frames using Selenium from basic level to the advanced level. So let's get started. First of all, what exactly are these frames? Let me explain. The basic definition of the frames, guys. So frames concept belongs to HTML, guys. Okay, using HTML, we can create the web pages, right? Using HTML coding, we can create the web pages. But what exactly are the frames in HTML? If you want to, okay, if you want to embed a different page on this page, let's say this is a page. In this page, let's say this is page A. In this page, you want to embed another page, say page B. Okay. In that case, while designing this page using HTML, we have to use something known as frames, guys. Okay. There is frames concept in HTML using which this is possible. It's not compulsory that you have to embed the another page inside this page, guys. Sometimes a section of the page also will be embedded here. Okay. It's not like this embedded part is entirely page. It can be a section or page. Okay. For example, guys, I'll open this browser and show you few example of the frames. I'll take you to this sample application omai.blogspot.com. So on this page of the omaya.blogspot.com, you see there is another web page of a third party website embedded here. Okay. This is a different website, guys. So if you go to this website, this is a separate website. Okay. This website page I embedded here on this omaya.blogspot.com page. Not only like this, guys, you can also embed the sections of the page. It's not like every time you have to embed a page, you can embed a sections of the page. For example, if I take you to this Internet Heroku website page. Let's say this is the example page. If I take you to this page, you see, let's wait for this page to load. So here you see, in this page, we are not embedding other pages. Rather, we are we are using frames for embedding the sections, guys. This is left section, middle section, right section, and bottom section. Okay. You don't have to every time embed a page here. Here, sections of the page are getting embedded here, right? For this also, we have to use frames. And if you go to this HTML W3 schools, if I search here and take you to this website and go to one of their pages like this, give me a second. Let me click on this right yourself. You'll be taken to this page, guys. In this page, guys, this is a separate page, but this page belongs to the same website, guys. Okay, this is a frame, guys. This is a frame, and this frame is embedding a page of the same w3schools.com itself. Okay, like that, there are variety of frames available, guys. So how to handle these frames in Selenium? I am going to demonstrate in this session, guys. So hope you understood what are frames now. Now let's get started with the practical demonstrations, guys. So before getting started, guys, I want to automate a scenario. So what scenario I want to automate? I want to go to this omai.blogspot.com first, and on this page here inside this text box field, I want to type my name, say Arun Moturi, into this text box field. Okay, this is what I want to do. So how to automate this? For this, I'll open this Eclipse IDE. Here is some sample Selenium automation code which is already written for opening the Chrome browser, for maximizing the browser window, and for opening the application URL. Which URL? I'll copy from here, this URL. After going to this application URL, I want to type my name into this text box field. So in general, how we type the text into the text box field, I will inspect this text box field, guys, first of all. So if I look at this HTML code of this text box field here, let me inspect it. So it has some ID locator, guys, with some value. So using ID locator, I can locate this text box field. I will take this, I'll copy this q, which is the value of this ID locator. Copy this, and here I'll say driver dot find element by dot ID. Paste it here and say dot send keys. I'll type my name into the text box field. I want to I want to get my name typed into that text box field. If I run this code, will it work? It won't work, guys. Okay, I'll show you. You'll get an exception, guys. Okay, beforehand only I'm saying this looks good only. The locator is good, everything is good, but you're going to get an exception, guys. I'm going to explain the reasons for that. So after the page got loaded and the script got executed completely here, you see if you scroll down here, my name didn't get typed into the text box field, right? The automation script has not typed the name of mine into the text box field, and instead we got an exception here also. Okay, instead we got an exception, guys. What is that exception? It's saying that no such element exception, no such element, unable to locate element. Did I give a wrong locator here? Why I'm getting no such element exception? Did I give a wrong locator here? That is ID locator is wrong? No guys, it's correct only, but still I am getting the exception. In real time guys, there are three reasons. Okay, in real time there are 3 or 4 reasons, whatever it is. So at this moment when I'm explaining frames, I will say it as 3 reasons why you may get no such element exception. The first thing, maybe the first reason for getting this kind of exception, that is no such element exception, is when the locator is wrong. Okay, if you provide a wrong locator, you will get this kind of no such element exception. That is the first reason. But here I gave the proper locator, so this reason is ruled out. Okay, this reason is ruled out. The second reason why you may get no such element exception here, so this kind of exception is, for example, if you want to click on this, if you click on this drop down, and if you have to click on this Facebook, you see it's taking some time for the Facebook option to come here, right? After immediately I click on the drop down, the Facebook option is not immediately coming. It's taking some 3 or 4 seconds to come here, right? So in this case, WebDriver will not wait. Okay, Selenium will not wait for the Facebook option to be there here. Okay, by default. If you don't implement the waiting mechanism also, if you directly try to click the Facebook option without waiting for the Facebook, still you are going to get this no such element exception. Okay, that may be due to timing issue. Okay, timing issue. The element may appear bit late. But here in our case, this is not the timing issue, guys. Okay, so immediately after loading this page, this text box field is coming. Okay, no need to wait for that element. Then what? Why this? Why here we are getting no such element exception? The reason here is this particular element is inside a frame, guys. Okay, inside a frame. So this particular element, whatever we are trying to enter the text, right? Here, this particular text box field is inside a frame. How can I say that this particular text box field is inside a frame? Let me show you guys. So whenever these two of your reasons are gone wrong, okay, these are the not your root causes of the no such element exception, then you have to check whether the element you are trying to enter the text or do some operation, right, is that in a frame or not. How to check that? Okay, how to cross check whether this element is inside a frame? So surrounding this particular element, okay, this black area is all surrounding this text box field, right? Right click somewhere near to this. Okay, somewhere near to this text box field, right click, and in the right click options you see you are getting what, guys? View frame source, reload frame. If you get this kind of frame options, that means this text box field is not on the page, it's inside a frame, guys. Maybe this black color thing is a frame, guys. Okay, how to further investigate and confirm that this text box field is really inside a frame? Not only from the right click options, guys, do one thing. What you have to do here is you have to right click on this. You have to inspect this text box field, guys. Okay, in the normal way, right click and inspect this text box field, and you'll get the HTML code of this text box field here. So just go to the top. Okay, what is the parent of this input tag? UL tag. Okay, what is the parent of this UL tag? Div tag. What is the parent of this div tag? Body tag. What is the parent of this body tag? HTML. Like that, keep on going to the parent of this tags. And here, somewhere here, you see there is a iframe, guys. Okay, when you hold the mouse here, you see the complete iframe is getting highlighted. Okay, that particular iframe is getting highlighted, guys. So this particular text box field is not on the page, it's embedded inside. Okay, this text box field is inside an embedded frame. Okay, embedded frame. So so what we have to do, guys? This is the reason, guys. This is the reason why we are getting no such element exception. Okay, if your required UI element is inside a frame, then it won't be, by default, it won't be visible for the Selenium WebDriver. Okay, so what we have to do, guys, for it to get visible to the WebDriver Selenium, what we have to do? First, guys, this is a page. From the page, we have to switch to the frame, guys. Okay, from this page we have to switch to this frame. Once you switch to this frame, then this text box field will be visible. If you don't switch to the frame from the parent page, this won't be visible, guys. Okay, it's hidden inside the frame. Using Selenium, we have to switch to this frame. How to switch to this frame then? How to switch from the parent page to the frame in which this text box field is available? Let me explain, guys. Okay, here, before you perform any operation of the element which is inside the frame, we have to switch to the frame from the default page. From this default page, we have to switch to the frame in which this particular element is available. How to switch to the frame then? Again, inspect this text box field, guys. Inspect this. So here, this is the text box field. Scroll up until you see the frame in which the text box field is available. It has some ID, guys. Can you see? It has some ID. This frame has some ID. I can use this ID locator, guys. Copy this. Okay, I can use this ID locator. Copy this. So this is the ID locator for this, for locating this frame, guys. Okay. So before I perform operation here, I will say driver dot. I have a command known as switch to command, guys. Okay. Here in the notes also I mentioned switch to command dot frame. I have to say. Okay. I have to write what driver dot switch to dot frame. We have to switch to the frame, right? For that we have to write the statement. How to switch to the specific frame, guys? Here I have to provide the ID. Okay. This particular frame is having some ID locator. So here inside the frame, inside the double quotes, okay, inside the double quotes, I will provide the ID locator like this. Okay, the value of the ID attribute of this frame, the value of the ID attribute of this frame, I'm providing directly into this frame command. That's it. Okay, save this. Now, before you perform operation on this text field, which is inside the frame, we are switching to the frame, guys. From this page, we are switching to the frame. Then only we are performing the operation. Now let's run this code and see whether this thing is working or not. It should work now. Okay. We should be able to switch to the frame with the help of the ID locator of the frame. And then this operation where my name should be typed into the text field should be done. You see, into the text field, my name got typed here. Okay. Earlier, we were getting no such element exception. So since we have switched to the frame, okay, since we have switched to the frame before performing the operation here, we were able to, okay, this particular name got typed into the text field, which is there inside the frame. So hope you understood, guys, how to handle the frames now. Okay, we have to switch to the frames and then perform operations on the elements which are there inside the frame. That's what is the funda, guys. Okay, now there are different ways, guys. Okay, this is just a basic, guys. Whatever I explained is just a basic, guys. We are going to dig deep now. There are different ways we can switch to the frames, guys. Okay, what are the different ways? We can switch to the frames using ID locator. We can switch to the frames using name locator. We can switch to the frames using web element. We can switch to the frames using index value of the frame. Okay, so we have to switch to the frame, guys. In order to perform operations on the elements which are there inside the frame, we have to definitely switch to the frames. But there are different ways. What are the different ways, guys? Different ways for switching to the frame. Different ways for switching to the frames. What are the different ways? Let me draw here. There are four ways. 1, 2, 3, 4. First way is using the ID locator of the frame. Okay, by using the ID locator of the frame, we can switch to the frame, or we can use name locator of the frame. Okay, we can either use ID locator of the frame or name locator of the frame. If not ID and name, we can use the web element of the frame. Okay, we can create a web element for that frame using any other locator. Okay, apart from ID name, any other thing can be stored as a web element. And using that web element, it can be class name, it can be link text, it can be CSS, it can be XPath. Okay, using that any other locators will create a web element. And using that web element of the frame also, we can switch to the frame. And final one is using the index value of the frame also we can switch to the frame. These are the four different ways, guys. In these four ways, guys, I already demonstrated how to switch to the frame using ID locator in this example. As you can see here, I'm providing the ID locator value. Okay, ID attribute value. Okay, inside this, while switching to the frame, I provided the ID attributes value here. Okay, we switch to the frame using the ID locator or ID attribute value. Now, the second thing is name locator. Okay, I'm going to show you or demonstrate you an example where we are going to use name locator for switching to the frame. Okay, so let me clear out this stuff, guys. Okay, here also I'll clear out this stuff. So I'll take this example, guys. Here in the notes I provided the example. This is the example web page. Copy this and provide here. Okay, I'll also open this here so that we can understand easily. Okay, that URL. So on this page, what I want to do is I want to click on this description, guys. Okay. So what will happen if I click on the description? You see, I'm taken to the bottom of the page. Okay. From the top of the page, if I click on this description, I am being taken to the bottom of the page automatically. Okay. Let's automate that. So already this is automated till here, guys. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on this description, inspect this description. So this is a link text, guys. Copy this. We can create a link text locator for clicking on this description, right? You see the text is there between the anchor tags, starting and ending anchor tags. So it is a link text locator. We don't have ID name or any other locator types, we can use a link text. Copy the text between the tags, and here say driver dot find element by dot link text, provide the link text and say dot click. Okay, so this will fail, guys. If I run this code, this will fail because this particular link is inside the frame, guys. Okay, so we have not switched to the frame yet, but I'm trying to run without switching to the frame. You're going to get which exception? No such element exception. Okay, without switching to the frame, if you try to perform operations on a particular element which is there inside the frame, you're going to get no such element exception, guys. So in the output, you can see you already got the no such element exception here. Okay, you already got the no such element exception. With this located, it's not possible, it's saying. The reason I know is it's a frame, guys. Okay, this particular link is inside the frame. How can we figure out that it is inside a frame? Let me show you here, guys. On this page, we are trying to click on the description, right? Near to this description, right click somewhere here, and you see you're getting the frame options. View frame source, reload frame options are coming. That means this particular option or link is definitely inside a frame. How to double confirm? Right click on this description and inspect it. In the HTML code, just go to the top parent elements. Okay, paragraph is a parent of this anchor tag, and this div is a parent. For this div, body is a parent. For this body, HTML is a parent. For this HTML, you see there is something known as frame here. It can be iframe or frame, guys. Okay, anything is fine. Both are frames only. Okay, in some web applications it will be iframe. In some web applications is frame. Okay, both are frames only. Okay, so there is a frame here, guys. So here, guys, to overcome this problem where I'm not able to click on the description because this description is inside this particular frame, right? So to overcome this problem, I have to first switch to this frame. From this page, I have to switch to this frame first. After switching to the frame, this description will be visible to the Selenium. Okay, how to switch to this particular frame then? Can I use ID attribute value here for switching to this frame? Is it possible? There is no ID attribute, guys. So the next possible attribute we have is a name attribute here. Okay, using the name attribute value also, we can switch to the frame, guys. I'll copy this name attribute value. Class frame is a name attribute value in this case. Using this name attribute value, I'll switch to the frame. Okay, here I'll go before performing operation, but that is before clicking on the description. I'll switch to the frame. How to switch to the frame, guys? Which command? Driver dot. We have to use switch to command dot frame. We have to say inside this frame command, we have to provide inside the double quotes. Okay, inside this frame command, inside the double quotes, we have to provide the name attribute value. If ID attribute value is not there, you have to use the name attribute value. Okay, so using the name attribute value, I have switched to the frame. Now I'll perform the operation. Okay, this will work now. Okay, this will work now, guys. Let me run this code. Right click, run as Java application. So if the operation is successful, we'll go to the bottom of the page. You see, we went to the bottom of the page because the description link got clicked. Here, you didn't get any exception. That means it worked fine. You were able to switch to the frame using the name attribute value. The second way of switching to the frame is demonstrated already now. Okay, either using the ID attribute value or name attribute value, we can switch to the frames and perform the operations on the elements. Now the third way, guys. Okay, I'm going to show you demonstrate you the third way, that is using the web element. So when that is required, let me show you. For that, I have an example, guys. So here, this web page, I'm going to navigate to this web page, copy this. I'm going to provide that here. Okay, and I'll remove these statements. And at same time, I'm going to open this in a browser here so that I can show you what's happening, what I have to do actually. Okay, what I have to automate. So here, guys, what I want to do is here, this is a page, guys. Block pending task is a page. Inside that block pending task, there is another page. Okay, this is a frame, guys. Okay, this looks like a frame, right? So here, guys, I want to do one thing. That is, I want to retrieve this particular text. Okay, I want to retrieve this particular text and print in the output. Okay, in the Eclipse IDE output, I want to print this particular text. How can I do that? So for that, guys, I have already copied this URL here. The next thing is that I want to get this text, right? Retrieve this particular text and print in the output console. Inspect this one, guys. Right click, inspect this particular text. Okay. So this is the text, guys. It has some class, you see. Status message body is a class. I'll copy this class. Okay. Using this class, I locate this particular text. Okay. Using this particular class, I'll locate this particular text. Okay, and here I'll write driver dot find element by dot class name. I'll provide the class name. Okay, then what I want to do, Why I wanted to locate this? I want to retrieve this particular text. Using which command I can retrieve this particular text, guys? This particular text is there between the starting and ending div tags. So I have to use which command? Get text command I have to use. Dot get text I will say. Okay, dot get text. So this will retrieve the text that is there between the tags of this particular div tags. Okay. So and I would like to print this out. Okay, I want to print this out. Okay, for that I will store this into string text. Okay, status text, right? This is what is status text. I'll say status text is equal to like this. I'll write and I'll print it out. Okay, system.out.println, system.out.println. I will say status text here. Okay, status text. So now I will save this and run this code. Okay, I'll save and run this code. This should give an exception, guys. Okay, this should give an exception because this particular status text is inside a frame, guys. Okay, it's not there outside on the page. It's there inside the frame. Okay, it's not there on the page directly, it's on the inside the frame. So after it loads, if you see here in the output, did you get any print statement? Did you get this particular text printed in the output? Sorry, the page you are looking for, this blog does not exist, is printed in the output console. No, right? Instead you got the same no such element exception. The reason here is that particular text, status text, is inside a frame. How to confirm? Let me show you. Here I'll go and so nearby this particular text I will right click, and when I right click nearby this particular text, guys, you see I'm getting this frame options, view frame source and reload frame. So this will confirm off, and let me confirm, double confirm, guys. I'll right click on this text and inspect, and this is HTML code of this particular text, guys. So for this div tag, this is a parent, this is a parent. Just go on to the parent list. Okay, for this div, okay, this is a parent. We are going on to the top, guys. HTML is a parent, and there is a frame here. You see, this is a frame. This particular text is not there on the directly on the page. It's there inside a frame. That's why we are not able to retrieve it and print in the output console directly. So what is this frame? Okay, what is this frame? If you clearly observe this frame, guys, okay, if you clearly observe this frame, it doesn't have ID attribute value or name attribute value. Then what is a way where we can switch to this particular frame? How to switch to this particular frame then? If it doesn't have ID or name, how to switch, guys? The only possible way is that we have to create a web element. If it doesn't have the ID attribute or value or name attribute value, the only possible way of switching to this particular frame for retrieving this particular text which is there inside the frame is we have to create a web element for this frame. How to create the web element for this frame? Let me show you. Okay, we have to create we can clearly create an I can create, guys. Okay, so let me create an XPath or something. Okay, any type of locator other than ID or name, any other locators are possible, right? Let's create an XPath or CS for this. Let's say I'll create an XPath here. I'll type an XPath here. So by looking at this, I'll say double slash iframe. Okay, double slash iframe, and it has some src with attribute value, right? I'll use that at the rate src is equal to, what is that, guys? Block pending task. Okay, block pending task dot blogspot.com. Inspect this. You see the frame is getting located. Can you see on the top the frame is getting located? I'll copy this XPath expression for locating this particular frame, and here before performing the operation on this particular text status message and all, I'll first switch to the frame. Here I have to switch to the frame. How to switch to the frame? Using the web element, we are going to switch to the frame, guys, not directly. Not using the ID locator, ID attribute value or name attribute value, or not switching to the frame. This time, since this iframe doesn't have any ID or name attribute values, I created some other locator, that is XPath. So if you are going to use any other locator apart from the ID or name, we have to create a web element. Okay, using this XPath, I will create a web element, guys. I'll say driver dot find element by dot XPath. Okay, by dot XPath. Here I'll provide the XPath expression, and this is nothing but the web element. Okay, this is nothing but the frame, right? We are creating a web element for the frame. So here I will say frame1 is equal to some frame1 is equal to create local variable. The web element got created. Now to this frame I am going to switch, guys. How to switch to this frame1? Driver dot the same command, guys. Switch to command. Okay, switch to dot frame of. Here instead of providing the ID attribute value or name attribute value, we are going to provide the web element directly. Okay, if ID attribute and name attribute values are not possible for this particular frame for locating the frame, then we are directly going to create a web element for the frame and providing it here as a web element. Okay, we are switching to the web element of the frame. Okay, this will switch to the frame. After that you can perform any operation you want. Now, so after this I will say driver dot close, guys, so that the browser will also close. once the operation is done. Now run this code, guys. Right click, run as Java application. This time it will work, guys. Okay, we are switching to the frame using the third method where we are creating a web element for the frame and switching. After the operation is done, the browser got closed. You see in the output, the status message which was there inside the frame got printed, and we are able to successfully switch to the frame using the web element. Okay, so I have successfully demonstrated you the third way for switching to the frames, guys. That is web element. Okay, switching to the frames using web element. Now the final way is index, guys. Okay, the last and final way in which we can switch to the frame is index. Okay, let me demonstrate that also for you. The last one is index. So first of all, guys, there can be many frames on the page. Okay, it's not like a particular page will only have one frame. It's not like that. Okay, there can be multiple frames on a page. How can I confirm that? How can I confirmly say that? Okay, I'm going to demonstrate this, guys, which can help us in finding the number of frames on the page. So how to find? Let me close, remove all this stuff and remove this URL also from here. Okay, so Control Shift O, unused import statements will be removed. So this is the fresh code again, and I'll go to this application, guys, omai.blogspot.com sample application. Okay, so on this page, how many frames do you think are there? Okay, how can we find out how many frames are available on this particular page? How can we find? So guys, if you inspect any particular frame, inspect it. Okay, if you inspect something, you see the frames are having which tag on this page? The frames are having which tag on this page? iframe tag. Okay, all the frames on this page, this is a frame, this is a frame, let's say. Inspect this. So all the frames on this page are having iframe tag. So by using this tag name, I can find out how many frames are available on this page. How? So here, after going to this omai.blogspot.com, after going to this omai.blogspot.com, what I will do is, okay, I'll write some code like this. Okay, driver dot find elements. I'll not use find element, guys, I'll use find elements. Okay, driver dot find elements here. So how to find elements? Okay, by using the tag name, guys. Okay, by using the tag name. So frames will have which tag name? Frames will have iframe tag name. Okay, I'll copy this iframe tag of the frames, and here I'll say by dot tag name. Okay, driver dot find elements by dot tag name. Here I'll provide the tag name, that is iframe. So this find elements will return you a list of web elements, guys. Okay, this find elements will return you the list of web elements, that is nothing but frames, guys. Okay, that is nothing but frames. Over the mouse, create local variable. Okay, list of frames got returned. So how many frames are there on the page? All the frames got returned into the list of web elements. Now let's find out the count of these frames, guys. How to find out the count of these frames? System.out.println. I'll simply say this frames dot. You see in Java we have the list. Okay, collections list is there. In order to find the size of the list, we have to use a command known as size, guys. Okay, I'll say frames dot size. This will get you the number of frames. Okay, this particular thing will get you the number of frames, guys. So I'll simply say driver dot close after this, so that after the number of frames got printed in the output, our browser will close automatically. Okay, let's run this code. So using the tag name, that is iframe tag name, I am trying to find how many frames are there on the page. Okay, right click, run as Java application. So total how many frames are on this omai.blogspot.com, we are going to find it out in a while. Okay, so yes, you see total how many frames are there on this omai.blogspot.com page? 3 frames are there, as you can see in the output, guys. 3 got printed. Okay, size of the frames is 3, number of frames is 3. Fine. So I'll optimize this code, guys. I don't want to write the code like this. Okay, rather what I can do is, instead of writing like this, I'll simply say driver.find elements. Here I'll say size. Okay, directly dot size. This will give you the size, guys. Okay, you don't have to write this extra step. Here I will simply say int number of frames. This is also same, guys. Okay, I'm just optimizing the code. Instead of writing in multiple lines, I'm calculating the size here itself. Okay, this will give you the number. This will give you the list of web elements. That is number of frames. Okay, that is a list of frames, and I'm counting the size here. Okay, size of the frames that are returned here. If 3 are returned, 3 web elements are returned here by this find elements, the size will be 3. Okay, that 3 I'm storing here, and I can print it out if I want. Okay, so this will also work. The system.out.println number of frames will work. You see, the same thing will work. Here I optimize the code, guys. I just removed one of the line. Okay, it's not required. We have to optimize the code if required. Okay, so I don't have to calculate the size in next step. Okay, so I can calculate the size in the same step. In the find elements step itself, I can calculate the size. Okay, in the find element step itself, I can calculate the size like this. Okay, still it is written in 3. So now you understood how to calculate the number of, how to find the number of frames on the page, right? Now you understood how to find the number of frames on the page. That's done. So what else? So here a page can have any number of frames, right? It's not like, oh, a page should have only embed one frame. It's not like that. A page can embed any number of frames. Okay, any number of frames can be embedded. Fine. So here, guys, so before I go to a particular place where there are multiple frames on the page, for example, on this omaya.blogspot.com, there are how many frames? 3 frames are there. Okay, we got it. We got that in the output already, right? There are 3 frames. But before I go to this particular example, okay, where I demonstrate there are multiple frames and how to switch to the frame using the index value. Okay, if there are multiple frames, how to switch to that particular frame, a required frame using an index value, that I'm going to demonstrate at the end of the session, guys. Okay, this is not the right time. Okay, at the end of the session I'm going to demonstrate, but for now, guys, I'm going to show you how to use index for switching to a frame. Okay, when there is only one frame on the page, instead of taking an example where there are multiple frames on the page and how to switch to the particular frame using an index value. So that will become very complex right now, guys. Okay, I have to explain you nested frames and all other concepts. These concepts, if you understand, you'll understand this well, guys. Okay, that's why what I'm doing is switching to the frame using the index value. When there are multiple frames on the page, I'm going to postpone to the end of the page, guys. At the end, I'm going to demonstrate that. But just to give you a taste of how to switch to a particular frame using index, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select a particular page where only one frame is available. I'm going to take an example page. Okay, this is example page, guys, where only one frame is available on the page. In that case, how to use the index? Index will be definitely 0, guys. Okay, if there is only one frame on the page, if there is only one frame on the page, what will be the index, guys? Index will be definitely 0 only. Okay, there is no possibility of 1 or 2. Okay, so for demonstration, for giving you a taste of how to use index 0 or something, how to use index for switching to the frame, right? I'm taking up this. When there are multiple frames, I'm going to demonstrate that at the end of the session. Okay, let's go with the one frame on the page. Okay, this is an example page, guys. Copy this. So here I'll update the things. Okay, here I'll update the things. So this page where only one frame is available on the page, I'm going to demonstrate now. Okay, so here in the application or here in the browser also, I'll open that particular page where only one frame is available on the page. Here on this page, guys, only one frame is available. Okay, here I have to type Arun Moturi. Here, let's say I want to type Arun Moturi text here. Okay, how to type that Arun Moturi text here into this text box field? Let's try to automate that. Okay, so copy this, copy this, and go here. Already this is provided in the get command. Now the next thing is how to inspect this, guys. Okay, here I have to type, right? So inspect this. When I inspect this particular thing, guys, I'll get the HTML code. Okay, how to find this, guys? Okay, I'll create an it doesn't have any, it is a paragraph tag. It doesn't have any ID or name or class or any other locator type possible here. So I'm going to create an XPath for this. So for that, I'm going to go to the selector sub. Okay, okay, so here what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say so from here I'll start and come here, guys. Okay, this there is a body here with ID. So I'll start with /body at the rate ID is equal to, what is ID, guys? Tiny MCE. I'll take this here in the single quotes I'll provide, and from here I'll come to this paragraph tag. Okay, I'll say /p. You see, this particular XPath is locating, this particular XPath is locating this particular text field. Okay, text field where we can type the text. And also, guys, the selector sub is kind of clever here. It is saying that in frame. Okay, this particular thing is there inside the frame. It is mentioning. So if you don't have selector sub, guys, if you don't have selector sub installed in your machine, you can create this XPath in your Google Chrome DevTools also. So here select one of the line and say Control F. So in this, guys, you have to type the XPath. Okay, you have to manually create the XPath and press enter. You see, if it is getting highlighted, that means it's working fine. Okay, either you can use this one or selector sub. I personally prefer selector sub, guys, because it will save a lot of time for me. If this is not available, I will definitely go with the Google Chrome DevTools way of creating the XPath expressions and all, which I have just now showed you. Okay, so for now, guys, this is XPath for locating this text field. Okay, I'll copy this and I'll simply say driver dot find element by dot xpath. Okay, so then dot send keys. I'm going to type my name, guys. Arun Motori. I'm going to type Arun Motori here. Put a semicolon here. Done. Okay, so save it. Save it, guys. Control Shift O. For unused import statements, if you want to remove, just press Control Shift O together. Okay, the unused statements will be removed. Now the code is very clean and all. So what we are doing, guys, we are going to this particular page and we are trying to enter text into this text field. Okay, into this text field here, I want to type Arun Motori. That's why I automated this particular line. Okay, I scripted this particular line. But here, definitely, you already know that you are going to get no such element exception. Why? Here selectors have already like kind of insisted us that it is inside a frame. This particular text field is inside a frame. Can you see here in frame it is saying? Okay, these are selectors of functionality, guys. If you are trying to locate something which is inside a frame, it will automatically detect. Selector sub automatically detects and mentions that we are inside a frame. Okay, so fine. Anyhow, okay, without selector sub also we can find it out by running this code. If you get no such element exception, we can investigate back. Run this code. Let's see what you will get. So is Arun Motori text typed into this text field? No. The reason here is you already got no such element exception because this particular text field is inside a frame. We have to switch to the frame, guys. But here we have to find out, guys, how many frames are on this page. Okay, before switching to this particular frame using index, I want to find out how many frames are on this page. How to find out, guys? The last in the last example I explained, right? I have to say driver dot find element. So if I inspect this particular thing, guys, if I inspect this particular thing, I'll get to know for example, if I inspect here and this is HTML code of this particular text field, if you go to the top parent thing, okay, this is using iframe, guys, right? Iframes, okay. The frames on this page are implemented using iframe tag, okay. So using the same thing, I will say find elements, driver dot find elements by dot tag name. Same example, guys. Same way of finding the number of frames on this page. So I'll say driver dot find element by dot tag name, that is iframe tag, okay, dot size I have to say. Okay, this will give you the size of the frame. So here I will say int total frames. Okay, total frames on page is equal to. I want to print it out, guys. Okay, I want to print it out. So before switching to any frame using index, I want to print. I want to find out how many frames are on this page. Total frames on page. Okay, on this page or on page, whatever that is. This is the one. Copy paste if you are not confident enough. So here I'll just comment it, guys, because anyhow it's not going to okay locate because this particular element is inside a frame. Okay, for now we are finding how many frames are on this page. Let's run this code. So I'll close the browser, guys. After this I will close the browser window also, driver.close. So I don't want to manually do it, so I'm just closing it. Java, run as Java application. Okay, so how many frames are on this page, guys? We got one. Only one frame is there on this particular Heroku app.com/iframe. Only one frame is there. If there is only one frame, how many indexes are possible? Generally, indexes will start with zero, guys. Okay, if you talk about indexes, if there are multiple frames, the one of the frame will have the index of zero, the second frame will have the index one, then and so on, guys. Okay, but here on this particular page, how many indexes are possible? Only one frame is there. Okay, in the output, as you can see here, it printed only one frame is available on this page. That means only index zero is possible. So since I am very damn sure that only index zero is possible here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to clear all this stuff here before entering my text into this text field. I'll since I'm damn sure that there's only one frame on this page. Okay, how to switch to the frame? Switch to frame using index. How to switch to the frame using index here? I'll say driver dot switch to command dot frame. I have to provide the index, guys. So index zero I'll provide, okay, because only frame one is there, only one frame is there. So I'll provide the index as zero, guys. It will. We are very pretty confident that we are switching to a proper frame. In case of multiple frames on the page, We cannot be sure whether that is 0th index or first index or second index of the frame in which this element is available. But here only one index, one frame is there. So only one index is possible, that is 0th index. We are confidently switching to the frame and performing the operation here. Now let's run this code, it will work. It's going to work, guys. Okay, because only one frame is on there. Okay, is there on this page. Okay, let's wait for the page to load, and my name Arun Motori should be printed in the text field. That proves that we have successfully switch to the frame, and the operation is all operation on this particular element which is there inside the frame is also done. Clear, guys? We didn't get any exception also. So guys, these are the different ways, guys. These are the different ways of switching to the frame. Either by using the ID attribute value, we can switch to the frame, or by using the name attribute value, we can switch to the frame. If not ID and name, we can go with by creating a web element for that frame and switch to the frame using the web element of the frame. And if in case if you want to switch to the frame using index, we can also use index like this. Okay, so the way I showed you, right? Switch to the frame of, here you have to provide the index value. That's it, index value of the frame. Every frame on the page will have a particular index assigned. Okay, so when I explain more about multiple frames available on the page, right, and I'll explain more about these indexes in detail. So till then, let's not worry about that. I'm going to cover this at the end of the session. Okay, so fine, guys. So the next thing, guys, okay, we are done with the different ways in which we can switch to the frames. Now let's move to the nested frames, guys. What are nested frames actually? What are nested frames, guys? Okay, for example, guys, there is a page. Let's say this is the page. Inside this page, okay, inside this page there is a frame. Let's say this is a frame. Okay, inside this frame there is another frame. Okay, so guys, understanding here, this is a page, guys. Let's say this is a web page. Inside this web page there is a frame, guys. Okay, we can call this as parent frame because it has a child frame inside. Okay, parent frame, there is a frame which we can call now as a parent frame because it has a child frame. Inside this parent frame there is a child frame. Here child frame is nested inside a parent frame. Okay, for example, you have a kind of button or text field or whatever it is inside a child frame. Then what we have to do, how to operate or perform operations on this particular UI element, which can be a button, text field, or anything which is inside the child frame, inside the nested frame. So guys, by default, okay, Selenium will have the control on the page, right? It cannot see what is there inside the parent frame or child frame. In order to make Selenium look into the parent frame, we have to switch from the page to the parent frame first. Okay, but still Selenium will not be able to see what is there inside the child frame because it only can see what is there inside the parent frame. But there is another frame inside this parent frame which Selenium cannot see. Now, if Selenium has to see what is there inside this child frame from the parent frame, again it has to switch to the child frame. Then only we can perform operations on this element which is there inside the child frame. Here we have to switch twice, guys. Okay, from page to the parent frame, from parent frame to the child frame. Okay, this is how we have to do, guys. Okay, for that I'll give you an example, guys. No need to worry. So guys, this is the example page where we have a nested frame available. Copy this. I'll open this here. Sorry, I just mistakenly copied that. I'll copy this again and I'll open this here. I'll show you where is the nested frame available. So, so this is a page, guys, where the nested frame is available. Okay, I'll tell you this is a functionality in which nested frame is available. So I'll also change the code here. I'll remove this and I'll just put this URL here. Okay, and save it. So once you are on this page, guys, let's say you have to type some text here. Let's say you have to type my email address, say arun.motori@gmail.com here. Okay, using automation I have to do. Let's see. So what I'll do is I'll copy this URL. Already I provided that in the get command. No need to provide again, guys. It's already there in the get command. So we are already going to this application page. Now I want to inspect this email address field. Inspect this. I want to type my email address into the email address field. Okay. So in order to type, what I am doing, guys, here inspecting this email, and this is HTML code, guys. Okay, this is HTML code of this email. So it has which attribute, guys? ID locator is not possible. ID attribute is not there. So name locator is possible for this locating this email field because name is equal to email is there. I'll copy this name locator. I'll simply say driver dot find element by dot name I'm trying to locate the element using the name attribute. Then say dot send keys. What I want to type? I want to type my email address. Say arun.moturi@gmail.com. I want to type. Okay. Okay, fine. So here I typed my email address and save it and run this code, guys. Will this work? No, because this particular definitely this element is going to be there in the frame, right? Okay, I'm going to show that. Anyhow, you are going to get no such element exception now. You'll not be able to. It's not possible to type, guys. It will not type here. You see, it didn't type my email address here into the email field, and instead you got no such element exception. Okay, no such element exception. Fine, guys. So why we got the no such element exception? Maybe this particular email field is inside a frame. Okay, that may be the possibility. So for that, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to investigate, guys. I'm going to investigate by checking whether this particular email is inside the frame. What is the first check I have to do? Surrounded by this text field, I will right click somewhere here and see whether that is a frame. There is a frame or not. Yes, in the right click options, I got view frame source and reload frame. Okay, I got this. That means definitely this is going to be inside a frame. To double confirm what I'm doing, right click inspect, right click inspect, and this is HTML code of this particular text field. Okay, so this is the one. So this email field is this is HTML code. It has parent div. For the div is a div. Go to the top, guys, until you see iframe or frame. So here HTML and there is a frame, guys. Okay, so because of this frame, because there is something like frame here and I'm not able to, okay, my script is not able to enter the email address into the text field because this email address is in email field is inside the frame here. Okay, I can see this here, right? So I have to create some XPath or something, guys, because ID attribute is not there, name is not there. The only possibility is that we can create a web element for this frame, and we can switch to this particular frame using the web element, right? So I'll go to the selector sub or anything, and here I'll type the double slash iframe. I'll say square bracket at the rate src is equal to inner frame, right? Inner frame. Okay, and press enter. You see the frame is getting located, guys. This particular frame in which this particular email address field is getting located. I'll copy this and create a web element for that frame. Okay, let me create a web element for this frame. Driver.find element by dot xpath. Okay, using the xpath I'm locating that frame, guys. I'll say what is that frame, guys? It's the inner frame, right? Inner frame. I'll say inner frame. Okay, inner frame is equal to create local variable. Okay, web element got created. Now using the web element, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to switch to this frame. How to switch to this frame? Driver dot switch to dot frame of this inner frame. Okay, using this web element, I'm going to switch to the frame in which the email field is available. Now I'm thinking that this particular text field is there inside this inner frame. I am switching to the frame, so it should work fine. If I run this code, it will not work, guys. It's not going to work. There's more story left. Let me explain. Okay. So after going to the through the exception, I'm going to explain, guys. You are going to get some exception known as no such frame exception. Okay, you are going to get an exception. You see, still my email address has not been typed into the email field, and the reason here is you are going to get no such. Okay, I got no such element exception. So no such element exception. Okay, no such element exception is coming. No such element exception. Okay, so I'm able to switch to the frame in that case. So at which line I got the exception, guys? Not this one, guys. Sorry. Let me check it again. At which line I got the no such element exception? Unable to locate XPath selector. You see, it's not giving no such frame exception here. Okay, no such frame exception, but here it's trying to locate the frame only. Okay, it's unable to locate the frame, guys. With the given XPath expression, it's saying that this is an element. It's saying, okay, this frame is an element. It's saying that's why it's giving you instead of no such frame exception, it's giving you no such element exception because we are trying to create a web element for this frame, right? And it's saying that this is not locatable. This 17th line is not working. This find element of this particular XPath is not foundable. Why? Why Selenium is not able to find this XPath? We gave the correct XPath only, right? The reason may be this frame may be inside another frame. Okay, the reason may be this frame may be inside another frame. You gave the proper locator for the element, you gave the proper locator for the frame, but why still we are not able to? Maybe this frame is inside another frame. Okay, how to find it out? Just inspect this again, guys. Inspect email again. So you see this email field, if you go to the top, is inside the frame, and this frame, if you go to the top the same way, again there is another frame, guys. Can you see here? This is another frame. Okay, this is the entire frame. And here this particular frame has ID, guys. Okay, this particular frame has ID. So what we are doing here is we were trying to directly switch to the child frame. Is it possible? From the page in this example, guys, we went to the letcode.in frame page, and from here we are directly switching to the child frame. Okay, we are directly, even though there was a parent frame, we didn't notice that and was directly switching to the child frame like this. This is not possible, guys. We cannot directly. Okay, from the parent page we cannot directly switch to the child frame. This is not possible. So only possibility is first you have to switch to the parent frame. From the parent frame you have to switch to the child frame. Now since we are now getting aware that there is another frame on the top of the child frame, this is going to the parent frame. Okay, then what I will do is I'll take this id attribute value of this frame, and using this id attribute value I'll switch to the parent frame first before switching to the child frame. So here, before switching to the inner frame, here I'm going to switch to the parent frame. Okay, here I'm going to switch to the parent frame. Parent frame. How to switch to the parent frame? So already this parent frame is having some ID attribute value. Using this, I can switch driver dot switch to dot frame of. Here I'll provide the ID attribute value of that frame. That is parent frame. Now we switch to the parent frame. After that, we switch to the child frame, which is there inside the parent frame. Now you can perform operation. This time it will work, guys. Okay. This time it will work. Okay. First we have to switch to the parent frame, then to the child frame, then perform operation that is on the element that is there inside the child frame or nested frame. This time my email address need to get typed into the email field. You see, it's working. My email address got typed into the email field of this page. Okay, this is the example of the nested frames, guys. Hope you guys got some clarity on this. Okay, this is what is nested frames, guys. Okay, this is what is nested frames. Now the next one, guys. Okay, still there is more, guys, to the frames. Okay, I'm just step by step going to the advanced levels one by one. Okay, I started with very basics. Now I'm going to the next advanced level. Okay, this is very good example, guys. Whatever I'm trying to or going to explain or practically demonstrate. Here you see, guys, you don't even have the nested frames. There are not only parent and child frame, but also there are sibling frames also. Okay, so I'm going to explain that. Let me close this. So guys, till now in nested frames you only discussed about parent and child frames, right? But here whatever the example I'm trying to show you, in that example there are going to be parent, child and sibling frames, guys. Okay, so this is the URL, guys, which I am going to demonstrate here. Let me browse it here. And here also, guys, here also in the Eclipse ID I'll remove all this code and I'll change the URL here also to the new example. Control Shift O to remove this unwanted or unused import statements which were part of the previous codes. Fine. So guys, after you go to this application page, give me a second. Let me close this one also. Let me clear out the stuffs, unnecessary stuffs. Okay, guys, this is a page, guys. Okay, here how many frames are there? Guess, guys. Guess how many frames may be there? One, two, three, four. I feel. Okay, because four sections are there, right? There are four frames. So what I want to do is, what I want to automate here is, guys. What I want to automate here is, I want to go to this page and I want to retrieve this particular left text from this frame and print in the output. And also similarly, I want to retrieve this middle text from this middle frame and print in the output. Similarly, right text I want to retrieve from this frame and print in the output, and bottom from this particular frame and print in the output. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, so let's try to do it. Okay, let's try to do it, guys, in a natural way. Let's try to do it. So after going to this particular page, what I want to do, I want to retrieve this particular text. I will inspect on this left like this, and this is HTML code, guys. This is HTML code of this left. It has body tags here. Can you see here? It has body tags. Okay, so I'll create some XPath, guys, using selector sub or something. You see, selector sub is really recommending me this XPath, double slash body is XPath, it is saying. Okay, in between the body tags we have the left, right? So I'm going to take this as a XPath for locating this left. Okay, inside this thing. So here anyhow selector sub is suggesting that this particular left is inside an iframe. You see, it's very clever, right? Selector sub is very clever where it's already suggesting that this particular left thing is inside a frame. Okay, so fine. Anyhow, let's kind of pretend that it's not inside a frame and directly try to do some operation. Driver dot find element by dot XPath, provide the XPath of that particular left thing and say dot get text. Why have to use get text, guys? I want to read the text that is there between the tags, right? I want to get this left text out of this body tags and print in the output. That's why I'm using get text. So here I'll say I'm thinking this should be the left to text. Okay, I'll say left to text is equal to over the mouse create local variable and print out this guy. Okay, try to print this left text. This will not work, guys. You will get no such element exception anyhow, because now by this time you already got to know that this particular element is not there. Okay, it's there inside the frame only, right? But I'm not switching to any frame and directly trying to perform operation. Definitely we are going to get in no such element exception. Run this. We are going to get no such element exception, guys. Let's wait for the application to load. So if you go to this application, guys, and you see here, you already got no such element exception. It's unable to locate /body because this is inside a frame. Okay, let's find out how it is inside a frame. Let's find out, guys. Go here, inspect this left. Before inspecting, guys, somewhere nearby left, you just right click and see view frame source reload frame. That means definitely this element is inside a frame. There's one check. Okay, so next thing is, again I am going to inspect this, and this is the HTML code of this particular left element. Okay, this is the HTML code of this left. So let's go to the top, parent. You see there is a frame here, either frame or iframe, whatever that is a frame. Okay, this is a frame, guys. Okay, don't worry about frame set, guys. Okay, ignore the frame set. When you are working with the frames, ignore the frame set. It's not required. Okay, only worry about the frames. So frame is there, and it has some name, guys. Name attribute value is there. So what I will do is, in order to get this particular left to text from this particular frame, right? Okay, in order to get this particular left to text out of left to text, retrieve this left text and print in the output, which is there inside the frame. I have to switch to this frame, right? In order to switch to this frame, I'm going to use this name attribute value. Copy this. Here I'll say. So before retrieving the text, that is the left to text from that particular frame, I'll switch to the frame, guys. Okay, I want to switch to which frame? I want to switch to left to frame. How to switch to left frame? This particular left frame is having the name as frame left. Okay, copy this. I'll say driver dot switch to dot. Okay, switch to dot frame of here. Okay, frame left. This is what I have to do, guys. Okay, frame left. So ID attribute value of the frame I gave for the left frame. Okay, I'm just thinking that this will work, but this will also not work, guys. So instead, you are going to get no such frame exception now. Okay, this frame will not be visible, guys. I'll explain. Okay, run it first. Okay, run it. We'll go in a natural way. Run it, guys. So I'm just thinking that left text is there inside a frame, and I thought that okay. So there is an application error, guys. Maybe I'll try it again, or I'll just manually try it once. Okay. So let's manually try it and see if this is coming or not. If it is coming, then I'll run the code. Okay. Yes, it's coming. So let's run this code again, and by pasting it here. It's coming, guys. Maybe some due to some XYZ reasons we got that application error. Let's run this code. Okay, this is working. Let's run it code again. We should get an exception, guys, this time, as I mentioned. So let's see whether this time the page will load or not. It should load. Yeah, it loaded. But we are going to get an exception. That is no such frame exception we have to get, guys. Go to the here. You see, guys, did you get no such frame exception as I mentioned? Yes. The reason here is whatever the frame we are trying to locate, right? Frame left, that is not locatable. That means this particular frame may be inside another frame. As I in the previous example also I told you, right? Nested frames. If you're not able to locate a particular frame, maybe that frame is inside another frame. How to find it out? Let me show you. Let's see. Let me investigate, guys. Okay. So again, inspect this left option. Okay, this is the left option. So this is inside a frame, and just go to the top, guys. Again, you see there is another frame. Okay, this frame is inside this frame, guys. This frame is inside this frame. So in order to get this left frame, in order to get this left to text, which is there inside this frame, I have to first switch to the parent frame, right? After switching to the parent frame, then only I can go to the child frame, right? That's why no such frame exception is coming when you are trying to directly switch to this child frame. Okay, so let's switch to the parent frame before switching to the child frame. So this has the name attribute again. The parent frame is also having the name attribute as a frame top or something. Copy this, and before switching to the left frame, I'm going to switch to the parent frame, guys. Switch to top frame. Okay, top frame. It's saying top frame, right? Parent frame or top frame. It's saying top frame. Okay, switch to top frame. Driver dot switch to dot frame of give the frame here, guys. Okay. So we first switch to the top frame. Inside the top frame, we have the left frame, and inside the left frame, we have this left to text. Okay. This left text is inside the left frame, which is there inside the top frame. Okay. Now it should work, guys. Okay. This time it should print, guys. Okay. I'll say driver dot close here because it is going to 100% work. So let me save this and run this. Right click run as Java application. You will get the text inside that left frame printed now. Okay, because it is going to work now. We successfully switched to the top frame in a parent frame. In that parent frame, child frame we switched, and now we are trying to retrieve the text inside the child frame. You see, it's working. Okay. Now, guys, what next? The next challenge we have is after printing this left text from this top frame, I want to retrieve the text from the middle frame. Okay. From the top frame, I want to retrieve the text from the middle frame, guys. How? How to get this middle text? So, guys, let me tell you one thing here. Okay, before going forward, because the time has come for me to explain. So here, guys, this particular page, if you clearly investigate this page, guys, if I right click inspect any of these elements, okay, if I right click inspect any of these elements and investigate this particular page about these frames, guys, you'll get more idea. So here, guys, if I collapse this particular frame, how many frames are there total? If I inspect this left, if I inspect this particular left, on the top of the left, there is one frame, right? If I collapse this, how many frames are coming? 1, 2, 3. These are sibling frames or not? This left is a sibling frame, middle is another sibling frame, and right is another. These three are sibling frames, which are at the same level. But these three frames are inside a top frame. Can you see here? These three frames are inside a top frame. And under this top frame, there is a bottom frame again. Can you see? There are two top level frames, top and bottom frames. In the top frame, we have three child frames, which is left frame, middle frame, and right frame. If I have to draw it properly, it will be like this, guys. Okay, on this page, in this page, guys, there are majorly two frames, top frame and bottom frame. There are two frames. In the top frame, we have left frame, middle frame, and right frame. This is how this page is designed, guys. This particular page is designed like this, guys. There are frames arranged like this. This is a page, guys. This is a page. Okay, this is a page. Inside this page, at the high level, we have top frame and here bottom frame. Okay, bottom frame. And inside the top frame, we have left frame. Okay, then middle frame and right frame. Okay, so right frame. If you investigate the HTML code, then only we'll get this, guys. Okay, inside the left frame, we have the left to text that we have already printed, right? The left to text we already printed in the output. We are able to print. Okay, so how we are able to print the left frame? So we started from the page level. From page, we switched to the top frame first. From the top frame, we switch to the left frame. Once you switch to the left frame, you are able to retrieve and print this left text from this left frame. Now, guys, there are other frames also. Middle frame will have middle text, right? Here, middle frame is having the middle text, and right frame is having the right text, and the bottom frame is having the bottom text. So this task is completed, guys. I was able to print the left text from this frame because I switched it from the page to the top frame, from top frame to the left frame, and I was able to retrieve this particular left text and print in the output. But now I need to retrieve and print the text that is there in the middle frame. How? Can I switch from current Selenium is at which frame, guys? At this moment in this code, okay, we already switched to the top frame, from top frame to the left frame. So we came up to left frame, guys. Okay, currently we are at this location. From this location, can we switch to the middle frame? Is it possible to switch between the sibling frames from left frame and middle frame and right frame or sibling frames, right? These three are sibling frames. Can we switch from the left frame to the middle frame? Is it possible? The answer is no, guys. Direct switching from the left frame to the middle frame is not possible. Then how? Because this left frame cannot see the middle frame. Who can see the middle frame? Who can see the middle frame, left frame, and right frame together? Top frame only can see. Okay. Left frame cannot see the middle frame. If you try to switch, you will get no such frame exception, guys. Right? Okay. So here, guys, after you went to the left frame here, I'll try to switch to the right frame. Okay. I'll try to switch to the middle frame. Okay. I'll try to switch to the middle frame. I'll inspect this middle frame. So you see, this is another frame. Okay. This is a left frame. This is a middle frame. From this frame, I want to switch to the sibling frame, that is middle frame. It has a name as frame middle. I'm trying to switch. you will get no such frame exception because that is not possible. Okay, that is not possible, guys. Switching from the sibling frames is not possible. Driver dot switch to dot frame of name attribute value. I'm giving here. I'm trying to switch. If you run this code, guys, at this line you are going to get no such frame exception, guys. Okay, let's run this code. Right click, run as Java application, because you cannot switch from the sibling frames. Only you can switch from the parent frames, guys. Only parent frame can see all its children, but brothers and sister frames cannot see their brothers and sisters. Okay, that's the problem. So here, guys, if you go into this, you already got an exception saying no such frame exception. That is that middle frame is not available, it's saying. The reason here is this left frame cannot directly see the middle frame. Okay, so how to switch to the middle frame then? If left frame is not able to, from left frame, if you are not able to directly switch to the middle frame, this direct switching is not possible. Then how to switch to the middle frame? Only top frame or parent frame. Okay, the parent frame of these frames can only see these frames. Okay, only the parent frame can see the children frames. Who is the parent of this middle frame or left frame or right frame? Top frame only, right? So what I will do is I have to switch back to the parent frame. Okay, again from this left frame I have to switch back to the top frame, and from the top frame we have to switch to the middle frame. This is the only solution, guys. There is no shortcut here. You have to go back to the parent frame, and parent frame we have to switch to the middle frame. So let me show you, guys, how to switch back to the parent frame. Let me show you here, guys. I will say driver dot switch to dot, okay, parent frame. There is a direct command, guys. If you are in any of the child frames, if you want to switch to their parent, immediate parent of this child frames, you can use a command known as, what is the command, guys? Parent frame command. Okay, I'll write down the command here, guys. Driver dot the nodes also I am mentioning, switch to dot. What is the command for switching directly from the child frame to the parent frame, immediate parent frame? Okay, parent frame is a command. Okay, this is the command, guys. Okay, we can directly switch using this command, parent frame command. We can directly switch from the child to the parent frame. Okay, so we are going to use this command, guys. When the moment this particular parent frame is executed, okay, from the child left frame we are going to back to the top frame. Okay, which is nothing but the parent of this left frame. And now from the parent frame we'll come to the middle frame. How? After this I will say driver dot switch to dot, okay, driver dot switch to dot frame of, I have to provide the child I mean middle frame's name locate name attribute value. Okay, so what is the middle frame's name attribute value? Frame middle. Okay, for locating the frame we are using this one. So I'll provide this time it will switch, guys. Okay, this time it will switch from the parent to the middle frame. Parent to middle frame is possible because middle frame is a child of the parent frame. Okay, parent frame can see this middle frame and we can switch. And after that I'm going to retrieve the text, guys. Okay, what is the text that is there in the middle text? I want to retrieve. How to retrieve the middle text? So inside this middle frame the middle text is here, okay, which has id locator. Copy this, and here I'll type the code, guys. I'll say driver dot find element by dot id, and this will locate this element, middle element, guys. But I want to retrieve this particular text which is there between the starting and ending div tags. I have to use get text command. Okay, I'll say dot get text command I have to use. Okay, I'll store this into some text. I'll say string middle text. Okay, middle text is equal to, I will say, now here I will say system dot out dot println, system dot out dot println. I will say, okay, sorry, guys, let me type it again. System dot out dot println, I will say middle text here. Okay, done. So now I'll close the browser, guys. It is going to work, guys. This time it is going to work. So I'm just closing the browser after printing the output. Fine, run this code, guys. Okay, previous instance I'm closing. Let me run this. Right click, run as Java application. So here, guys, you will see that this time it will work. Okay, from parent to middle is possible. Left to middle is not possible. Parent to middle is possible. Sibling to sibling is not possible, guys. Okay, this is the example. Can you see here? Now these things are successful. Left and middle got printed. Now similarly, guys, I want to switch to the, okay, now we went back to the parent frame and came to the middle frame. Now I want to go to the right frame. Okay, again, guys, this is not possible, right? This sibling to this middle to right is not possible. Okay, this connection is not possible. We have currently we are here in the middle frame. I'll go back to the parent frame, and again from the parent frame I'm going to come to the right frame. Okay, same process I have to repeat for the that one also. Driver dot switch to dot, okay, parent frame I will say. Again I'm going back to the parent frame. Again I'm switching to the one of the child frame of the parent frame, that is right frame. Okay, so switch to frame of What is the frame? Here I have to provide the name. Maybe that left also will have the, okay, that right also will have the same. Right also will have the same. Okay, right also will have the same name attribute value, guys. Okay, I'll copy this name attribute value. I'll come here and simply provide the name attribute value. That's it. And after switching to this right frame, okay, I have to retrieve this particular text, guys. The text is there here. So here I'll use the selector sub to auto generate the XPath. Okay, it's auto generating the XPath, guys. That is this relative XPath / body. I'll copy this. Here I'll say driver dot find element by dot XPath, provide the XPath. I'll say dot get text, guys. I'll say get text, guys. Okay, this will store into the string right text, right? This is the right text, okay, is equal to, and here I'll print it out. I'll say system.out.println right text, okay, right text, okay, done. Now I'll say driver.close. We are close to our goal, right? We are trying to print all this text, right? Left, middle, right, and bottom. We have to print it out, okay? So we are almost close to the goal actually, okay? So right click run as Java application. Okay, the last one will be a tricky one, guys. Bottom will be a tricky one. So this is almost easy for now. The left, middle, and right is easy now, but bottom will be a tricky. I am going to explain that, okay? So after this output is printed as it is, as expected, then you see we got the proper output. Left, middle, and right we were able to achieve. So currently where we are, guys, here we are at the right frame, okay? Currently we are at the right frame, but we have to go to the bottom frame, okay? So can we directly go from this to this one? Is it possible? No, guys. Okay, the right frame cannot see the bottom frame. How it can see? Okay, even the parent frame also cannot see the bottom frame. Okay, so here is the thing, guys. Here is the thing. The right frame cannot see the bottom frame. The top frame and bottom frame are siblings. Can we directly switch from sibling to sibling? This is also not possible. This is also not possible. Then what is the solution then? The only solution is, from here, guys, we are going to switch to the page level. At the page level, these two frames are visible, right? Top frame and bottom frame are visible at the page level. So directly from the right frame, we are switching back to the parent frame, a parent page. Okay, parent page, default page, we are switching. Okay, from the right frame, one of the child nested frame. From here, we are going switching directly to the default page. From the default page can see the top frame and bottom frame. From here, from this page, we are coming back to the bottom frame. This is the process, guys. Okay, these two things we have to do now. From right frame back to the default page, and from the default page, we are coming to the bottom frame. How to do that? How to go from the right frame, which is a child frame, to the default page? There is a direct command, guys. Okay, direct dot switch to dot. Instead of saying parent frame, I'll say default content. Okay, instead of saying parent frame, I'm going to say default content. This command will take you to, okay, this command default content will take you to the parent page, default page. From the default page now can see the top frame and bottom frame. Okay, so where is the bottom frame? Here I'll collapse every these three frames, guys, which are part of this top frame. And once we went to the parent page or default page, you see these two frames are visible. This is a bottom frame. Okay, this bottom frame has a name. I'll copy this name. After switching to the default page, I can switch to the bottom frame. Driver dot switch to dot frame of the bottom frame name I am giving here. Okay, now you can perform operation, guys. Okay, on the bottom frame element you can perform operation. That is the bottom text is there here. So this is part of the bottom. I'm auto generating an XPath for this particular okay, this particular bottom thing. So that is nothing but this / body XPath. Copy this. Driver dot find element. Driver dot find element by dot XPath of. Okay, then I'll say dot get text. Okay, I'll say dot get text. Here I'll store this get text into string of bottom text. Bottom text is equal to, I'm going to print this, guys. System.out.println bottom text I will print. And finally I'll close the browser. Okay, this will, we are able to achieve our goal, guys. Okay, if this prints correctly, bottom text is printed correctly from this frame, that is bottom text is printed in the output, means we are able to achieve whatever we wanted to achieve, guys. Okay, let's run this code, guys. Let's run this code. Right click, run as Java application. This should work, guys. Okay, this should work. Okay, guys, you see left, middle, right, and bottom got printed. That means everything got worked out. Okay, everything got worked out, guys. This is how we have to handle the parent, child, and sibling frames. Very good example, guys. Okay, I'm not going to share the code related to this particular thing to you guys in the notes. Okay, I want you to experience this. Okay, I want you to watch this particular video and experience it on your own, guys. Okay, I don't want to share the notes where the code for this parent, child, and sibling for this particular example is available. You have to try it on your own, guys. Okay. So fine, guys. The last item, guys, that we have kept it for pending. Okay, while I was explaining the different ways where we can use for switching to the frames, the last way was index. Okay, we can use index for switching to the frame. I only gave the example where only one frame is available on the page, but now, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give an example where there are multiple frames on the page, and I'm going to switch to the required frame using the index. Okay, when there are multiple frames on the page, switching to the frame using index when there are multiple frames available on the page, guys, which I postponed earlier in this section. I'm going to do it now. Okay, so let's go back here, guys. Let's see what I want to do is I want to go to this omaya.blogspot.com application. So I'll clear out all this code, guys. I'll clear out all this code. Okay, because we are able to achieve it here, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that URL. I'm going to copy this URL and paste it here. Okay, so in this page, guys, there are how many frames we already found out, right? Earlier itself we found out. Again, we can find it out if you want. There are 3 frames, guys. Okay, let's find it out. How many frames are on this page? How to find it out? So I'll inspect one of the frame, guys. This we already know that this is one of the frame. I'll right click inspect somewhere. Okay, this particular text field I will right click inspect, and this particular text field is there inside a frame. Okay, right? So what is the tag we have? Iframe. Okay, I'll copy this iframe tag, and using the tag name I can find how many frames are on this page. Driver dot find elements by dot tag name. I'll provide the tag name as iframe, and I'll count it. Okay, I'll count it size using the size. This will return the number of frames that are available on this page. Int number of frames. Okay, number of frames on this page, or number of frames is equal to is fine. Now if I print it out, if I simply say system.out.println number of frames here, it will print the number of frames available on the page. I'll simply say driver.close, guys. So let's run this code and observe that number 3 should be printed, guys. Okay, we already know this because I tried it earlier in the same session. Okay, in the same session I showed you already. I'm repeating it again. So here you will get 3 as the output. Okay, you got how much, guys? You got 3 as output. That means on this particular page, how many frames are there? 3 frames. I'll remove this. I'll store this number of frames. Okay, this number of frames is having 3 number. Okay, now I'm going to write a for loop, guys. Okay, I want to find out, guys. Okay, so here, guys, I don't know whether this frame is index 0 or this frame is index 0 or any other frame. There are 3 frames on this page, right? But I don't know which frame has which index. I don't know. Okay, here on this page, how many frames are there? 3 frames. Like this, for example, on this omaya.blogspot.com page, there are total how many frames? There are total 3 frames. 1, 2, and 3 frames are there. But so how many indexes are possible, guys? How many indexes are possible? If there are 3 frames, how many indexes are possible? 0, 1, and 2, right? 0 index, 1 index, and 2 index are possible. But we don't know this frame is of 0 index or this frame is of 0 index or 1 index. We don't know which frame has which index. We don't know, guys. But why we have to know the index of a particular frame? Let's say I want to type my name, say Arun Motori, into this text field. Okay, into this text field I want to type my name, but this particular text field is inside this frame. I want to switch to this particular frame using the index, but I don't know this particular frame has which index. I don't know how to find. Okay, this particular frame has which index. I don't know, guys. How to find then? How to find that? This frame has which index, 0 or 1 or 2? We are not sure, right? So I'm going to write some program, guys, so using which I'm trying to find this particular frame has which index. I am going to print it out. Okay, so I want to type my text into this, and this text is inside this frame. This frame is having which index? Don't know. If I know the index, I can switch to this frame. That's the concept. Okay, let's go there. So what I will do here is, guys, I'll say for int I is equal to 0, index is equal to 0. Here I means index, guys. Okay, I less than, if there are 3 frames, what are the indexes possible? 0, 1, 2, right? So here I'll say index starting from index 0 and index less than number of frames. Correct or not? Frames is 3, right? I less than 3 means till I is 2 means fine, right? Index 0 to index 2. That's fine. I plus plus. Okay, I plus plus. I'll create the for loop here. So this for loop will iterate for 0th index, first index, and second index. Here 3 index it will not iterate because I am saying less than 3. Okay, less than 3 here. Number of frames will return you 3. So here less than 3. So 0, 1, 2 will be index will be possible. Here I'll say driver dot switch to dot frame of index. I'll say I. Okay. Here in the first iteration index is 0, frame of 0 at the index it will switch. I am making intentionally making, okay, this program to switch to one of the frame. In the first iteration it will switch to which frame? The frame which is having the index 0. I'm trying to find out whether this particular text field is there in the frame which is having the index 0 or not. How to find out whether this particular element is there in the frame which is there inside this index 0 or not? So how to find out that, guys? For that, guys, I'll write a statement here. I'll simply say driver dot find elements. Okay, find elements. So here I'll inspect this text field which I want to locate, and for which we have to find the frame index value in which this particular text field is there. So I inspected this text field, and this particular text field is having some ID, guys. Copy this ID. I'll say here by dot ID. Okay, so find elements I am saying, not find element. I am saying find elements by dot ID. Only one element will come, right? Dot, I'll say size again. Okay, this size will return 0. Okay, this size will return 0 if this particular element is not there inside the index 0. Okay, if this particular element is there inside the frame index 0, then size will be returned as 1, right? The size will be returned as 1. Either 1 or 0 will be returned, guys. Okay, so I'll put a semicolon here. I'll say int availability. Okay, availability of that particular element inside the frame or not, I'm saying. Okay, so like this I'll write the code, guys. Okay, for now this is enough, or this is good so far. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a if condition. If this availability is greater than 1, sorry, greater than 0. Okay, greater than 0. If it is not 0, okay, if it is 0 then problem, right? So either this size will return 0 or 1 here. Okay, if this element is available inside this frame 0, then this size will return 1 here. Okay, if it is greater than 0 means 1 only, right? So then I'll simply say that system.out.println. Okay, this particular element, what is that element, guys? This particular element. Okay, element that we are looking for is inside the frame. Which frame, guys? I'll say plus this frame, I frame. Okay, I will have the index value of the frame. Okay, uh, element is inside the frame having the index, what is the index? That index will be printed. If this size is returning 1 means this will happen, guys. For example, in the first iteration when I is equal to 0, index is equal to 0, frame of 0. Okay, one of the frame will be assigned. In that frame, let's say this element is not available, so you'll get 0, guys. If 0 is greater than 0, no, this will be skipped. And second iteration I will become 1. So frame of 1. If frame of 1, after you switch to the frame of 1, if you find this element inside that frame, then size will become 1, otherwise 0 will come. Okay, like that 3 iterations it will check, guys. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3 iterations it will check, and this statement will be only printed for that particular iteration or index value where the element is available. Okay, when the element is returning, the size is returning 1, for that only this index value will be printed. Okay, that's how I'm writing the logic, guys. Hope you're able to understand the logic. I tried my level best in explaining. Now save this and run this code. Now when I run this code, guys, you will get a proper output saying in which index, which frame index this particular element is available, you'll get. Okay, right click, run as Java application. So I have run the code, guys. Let's see. So our results will come now. Let's wait. The results are going to come where we got to know and which frames index we have that element available. Okay, okay, there is a problem here, guys. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, there is a problem. You'll not get this. You'll get no such frame exception, because you see, let's say in the first iteration you are switching to frame 0, frame having index 0 you are switching, and after that, for example, this frame 0 is doesn't have this particular element. What will happen? I will be iterated by 1. Okay, index will become 1. Now can you switch to the frame index 1? If all these frames are at the sibling level, can you switch here? Right? Can you switch from frame 0 to frame 1 if the frame 0 and frame 1 are siblings? That's what is happening, guys. Before the next iteration starts, what you have to do here is you have to write a statement like this: driver dot switch to dot default content. Okay, assuming that all the frames are at the sibling level in the page, I have to move to the page level, guys. Okay, before switching to the next frame, I have to move to the default page and then switch to the next frame. Okay, before moving to the next frame, I am switching to the default page and then switching to the next frame. Okay, like this. Run this code, right click, run as Java application. This time it will work. Okay, this time it will work, guys. We have to switch to the default page before switching to another frame. Okay, as explained in the previous example, guys, we have to switch. We cannot switch from sibling to sibling, right? We have to switch to the parent thing, and from parent we have to come here. Okay, now you see it's working. Element in is inside the frame having which index, guys? Second index. Now we got the result. Okay, now we got to know element is inside the index 2. So here what I will do is, after you found out the element is inside the index 2, I'll simply say driver dot switch to dot frame of. I'll switch to the index 2 because clearly we got the output saying you have to switch to the index 2. Index 2 is the frame in which this particular, okay, this particular text field is available. Okay, index 2 is a frame in which this text field is available. So I am switching directly to the index 2. Okay, now I'll say, I'll write the code, inspect this. I'll write id is q, copy this. I'll say driver dot find element by dot id dot send keys. I'll provide Arun Moturi. Okay, this time it will work, guys. Okay, after switching to the after finding the index of the frame, after switching to that particular index, okay, using that index, after switching to that particular required frame in which this element is available, I am typing the text. This time it will work. Okay, okay, I'll remove this, guys. Okay, so I want to see the output, right? So I have to show the output. So I am right click, run as Java application. Let's see what will happen. This time it has to type Arun Moturi text. And here on this page, there are multiple frames, which are sibling frames. And I didn't know which frame index I have to switch to. I found it using the program. After finding the index value of the frame in which the text field is available, I'm typing the text. By switching the frame with that index, I'm typing the text into the field. Okay. This is a program, guys, when multiple frames are there on the page. How to find the number of frames and how to find the index of that particular frame and how to type the text into that particular frame. You see, it's working fine, guys. Okay, the experiment is done. Okay, we are able to achieve the results. So hope, guys, you understood how to switch the frame using index when there are multiple frames available on the page. Okay, this is a code. This is a process, guys. So that's all, guys. That's all about this session where I explained all the handling frames concepts from basics to advanced level, guys. Hope you understood it properly. If not understood, guys, you can watch it again and again and try to practically solve the problem when I'm explaining in the session, guys. Okay, so definitely we'll be able to achieve the results, guys. I provided almost all solutions for handling the frames in this session. So that's it, guys. Thank you. Bye.